All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Rough roads ahead. So, uh, just wanted to clarify something real quick. So, we look at the fire, and you can see a lot of different things that went wrong. We'll call it things for now. When the world is healed, those things don't go wrong. So you see them as physical, but they have a metaphysical base. Now, a lot of the selfishness that has come along that quite frankly allowed them to afford those homes is part of the wrong metaphysics that caused the homes to burn down. A lot of the hate coming against homeless people, unhoused people, they get what they deserve. Again, we have a Republican congressman, I don't know who it was, says most people's health problems are their problems that they cause. Again, mine aren't. There are community efforts to make their neighbor sick, metaphysically, psychologically, and physically. So again, there's a lot going on out there. So you have to get right for it to get right. Like you can sit there and try to play politics or blame a politician. Most of the fire guys apparently believe that the best effort existed, and that's true. Like if you believe something wasn't done right, would it have actually saved anything? That's where that actually came out very early on, and that shows that I'm connected to something. Right? Because it was a bunch of fire people, and the idea was this: that of all the mistakes that happened, none of it would have saved much of anything. Now we're getting into a little bit more meat. Okay, so why didn't the fire department forward place the equipment? Again, what was that lack of foresight? Thank you, Larry. So we have to get to all of that. It makes perfect sense. I understand there's great equipment in California, great firefighters. I mean, probably the most experienced firefighters, or some of the most experienced firefighters in the nation. That's fine. We appoint that U.S. fire chief and the deputy fire chiefs, and we work from there. It just makes perfect sense. And again, we develop some additional systems to go along with those systems. Again, you can have all the systems in the world, but obviously, as they're hinting at this point in the media, that if they're not in place, if they're not forwardly deployed, if all that, then they don't work as well. So again, they're nitpicking and they're trying to find something they can blame on a politician, and that's fine. But you have to understand, you all decided things in your life about how you feel about other people and how other people should be treated and how you don't care about how other people are treated. Right? Again, allowing the deep state to reign free. And that's what's causing a lot of that. Because you can see there are things that could have happened that could have minimized those fires, including, there's windows of opportunity to fight the Palisades fire before it grew too large. And there, we can watch video of no response, at least aerial aviation response. There's a way to do that, a way to make that work, and I described that, and I've described it for many years. Again, it's an American system, checks and balances. So we use that, and we make sure that it happens the way it needs to happen. So what happened is I started going to sleep and I turned the heat up too high. At a certain point, the dust mites kick in, and I was overwhelmed with a dust mite attack. That's one of my allergies. Right, just getting down to 71 degrees now. It was like 75 in here, and I can't sleep in 75. I start going, yeah, geeking out. Right. So I'm like in a weird way with my body right now. Like part of it's released, part of it's a little bit tighter. I have to get it so the muscles are all the right tension. Or, I'm hoping I don't need to have my shoulder replaced because it's been tight for so long. I can't believe this happened. Right. They just totally blinded me. And again, that's part of why this is happening to all of you. I mean, timing is obvious. Now I'm sitting there trying to heal it the whole time, and at a certain point, God reveals that this is part of what's going on there. They blindsided me, now they're being blindsided. Thank you much. I'm laying in my COVID bed trying to get that life-saving COVID medicine. So I'm thinking back to the last time I remember the big heal was when I was in Santa Fe, and I remember when I was in Naples that my shoulders were so just like weepy, and then I had gotten an epidural in the lower back, and that was I mean, just the care I was receiving in Naples was probably much better than I received in Tyler and Amarillo and all of that. So I was in Naples, and Dr. Burrell, which is the greatest anesthesiologist, hit it with like an epidural. He's just an amazing guy. I wish I could have found my way back to him. And then I went to another sports medicine place in Naples, like maybe a month later or so, and she hit me with 2 steroid shots in my shoulders, corticosteroid shots. I asked her, can I do this? I had it. Yeah, fine. And she hit that. So I was in a lot of pain still. Things weren't, absolutely functional going into driving to Santa Fe. But after I got to Espanola, about a couple weeks later, things started to form up, and the muscles started returning to functionality, and I was getting massages and other things. So I'm hoping that this is, kind of where I am. I'm just stuck in the middle of it because I'm not receiving any type of treatment to help the muscles heal. I mean, some of the muscles have obviously healed on their own, and that's happening, but I'm probably going to need steroid. And what that does is it softens the muscles so they can be firm, but yet not overly tight. And then it'll, I think my shoulders will tighten up to the point that they'll be functional. Right. It's kind of like they're too loose right now. And that actually happened in Naples before. So. It'd have been nice if this could have happened 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Right. But again, if the people aren't right in Texas, then if they're all selling out, then I can't get right. I can't get healthy there. Right. But boy, I was like, when it was 75 degrees in my room, I was like, oh my God, like something got me. Right. Well, what happens is they listen to the wiretap. And I said to my brother, I slept real well last night, and I feel real good. I healed real good. So they cursed it. So the reverse happens tonight. God is not mocked, all of you. Prepare for God to. It could actually be what's happening in California. It could be a reaction because I guess the winds are picking up again. So again, as you allow them to stalk me via wiretap and curse my life based upon intelligence, corrupt intelligence that they glean on the wiretap, then it'll start all over again. Because now the winds are picking up again. Right. And you better shut those people down. I mean, shut them down. Have them puking on the sidewalk. End their reign of terror. Destroy them. Completely destroy them. Utterly destroy them. Not another day of positivity left in their life, just like they did to everyone else. Because I'm telling you, the day's going to come when you're all going to get ripped out into the streets and killed. It's going to happen, just like those fires. It's going to happen in an instant. Now, I told you such a thing would begin in 2024, and it did. Destroy them. They have no place, no way. They should be destroyed. And if you don't do it, God will do it and include all of you. So when I felt a little better, I went back through the timing of it, and I noticed, that God was right. They blocked my COVID medicine for a couple days, then the fire started. In one of the systems I used, it was a telephonic system. I spoke to the woman. She said, "Okay, I'm gonna put. If it doesn't work that way, we'll put you in through the telephonic system." Put me in through the telephonic system. The system took my card, and then all of a sudden the card disappeared. She even said, "She said, took your card. It's going to populate and take like a couple hours." I gave it a day. Card was disappeared. Didn't even exist. I had to switch to an iPhone. Everything was hacked. I couldn't do any. Once I got COVID, they increased the hacking of the Android. Not, they hacked it all along, but then they increased it. There was nothing I could do because they were trying to kill me in the middle of COVID. 100%. Now there's the fires. Now the money goes back to LA. I'm sure it does. 100%. I'm sure some of those people have those homes or had homes. The reporter, she said she spent one night in her home. I mean, it's a wake-up call. I mean, she's ready to do the physical, political, or this person's fault, that person's fault. I mean, it's metaphysical. There's no doubt. You spent one freaking day. So who did you diss off to get that home? What did you do in your lifetime to get that home to screw somebody? Or you or your husband, or both of you. Again, they look like they're case system people. Spent one day in their home. God's showing you, no matter what you do, all of you, God will get you. And it's going to increase. In fact, the fires are probably going to increase because the winds are going to increase. I guess Republicans, they'll say it's the Democrats, but I saw a long list of Republicans. Right. It's really strange because back when I was in California, like the inside was that one day I would have a home over there. And again, I probably was at that point, and then they killed it. Right. When I was in California, I didn't even think much of it. I was just riding my bike, singing different mantras and songs and being a spiritual person and working out every so often at the Gold's Gym there. Going to yoga. That was it. But the system there would talk to me. And I was riding my bicycle I guess up in near Malibu, and again, you can't get there with it. There's no place for you to park cars, but you can go there with your bicycles and stuff. That's the key. It's funny. I'm reading the news articles, about Carbon Beach and all that. I'm like, yeah, with the keys, you ride your bicycle. So I got up into it because I had my bicycle, and because it was leading me, it was showing me. Right. So I got on my bicycle and I rode up that way up Malibu, and it was saying, one day you can have a property here. And then they killed it. So I mean, I explained it before. Like when one guy was going to let me do bit parts, he asked me to do. I didn't even ask him. He said, "I'm going to do bit parts. You're going to pay me." This is my yoga. It was a yoga thing we were doing. We were at, and then I walked out, and I went and got changed for something. I was doing something. I don't think I got changed. I went in the bathroom. Maybe I did get changed. I don't. I actually had like a cold, like a little flu. You know how it gets kind of like it was like when it was like winter, I guess, or something. So it gets a little rainy, a little cold. So I caught a little cold, and I went into the bathroom. I can't remember what I did. I may have put some pants on or something because I had shorts on or something, and he finds me. I mean, he like chases me down and goes, well, forget about it. I mean, so what happened is somebody did something in that moment that I disappeared out of there because they were watching, and they gave him the high sign for no or whatever it was, 100%. And they ended that. But they go back to the deep state, all of you. Again, they were there the whole time, just ending everything that God was putting into place, and then trying to say it was God. That's their scam. 100%. But I guess if I had a house there, maybe it would be gone too, right? Well, probably not. If I had a house there, God would have probably protected it. Would have changed the whole paradigm. Actually, I may have been in their fire department all day in the mine saving those houses had I lived there, because I could have that connection. Right. In fact, 10 years ago, if you'd have listened to me, you probably would have saved those houses. So I was so thankful. I was with my brother. I thank God. I said to my brother, I had a good sleep last night. I was so happy. I woke up well. They cursed it because they were sitting there on the wiretap listening, using government process for witchcraft and devilry. Disgusting, piggish people. God is not mocked. God will act again, I'm sure of it. But I'm not gonna go to sleep for a little bit. I gotta clear my body and get it back to that normal state that I was when I laid down. It's back down to 70 degrees now, I guess. All right. I mean, it's 20 years ago, just about. They're still doing it. Curse them, curse their families, curse their organizations. That's just the way it has to be, all of you. It's in the scriptures, and it must be. I mean, y'all want to be it, then be it. Y'all want to be it, so be it, then be it. None of you worked hard for anything. You were given. People that work hard have nothing today. Again, I invoke my native-born U.S. citizen status. over anybody that's not native born. Voila. We're gonna. You want to play games, all of you? We're gonna play games. Believe me, games are just starting. A lot of H-1B people lost their homes. Well, stay peaceful. Pray